Oh yeah, the police.
The police. Mm.
Okay. And then maybe we talk about have you done anything illegal or have you been arrested by the police?
Okay.
But I don't know, I have a lot of experience with this. Do you?
But that could be funny.
No, no, let's just do the blooper and talk about something else.
Oh, it'd be such a fun episode.
Let's try, let's try. We can always change our mind.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Welcome to the Rosie and Roula show. Marhaba.
G'day.
Rosie, we have this episode, What Kind of Driver You Are?
Yeah.
Episode 78. And it happened that in the past few days, my husband and I were watching, we call it in Dutch, wegmisbruikers, or, the traffic police following people who are
Yeah,
speeding,
yeah.
driving crazy. Okay, we've been watching this. Yesterday, I was driving back to home, and the highway was not busy. I was on the fast lane, driving 127 kilometer per hour, and checking in the mirror, okay? In the rear mirror?
Rearview
Is
mirror,
what you
yeah.
call it? Yeah, rear view mirror. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, the cars behind me, they cannot be police. I mean, it's a Peugeot, it's a Tesla, it's a Range Rover. These are not police cars. It has to be like this fast Audi. Okay, and I'm checking my rear view mirror every 10 seconds. And then at a moment, I checked and I saw a huge Audi police car with a big police on top of it, right behind me, like asking me to slow down.
Oh my God.
Okay, so what did I do? I with control, of course, moved to the slow lane and I slowed down. And the police was just like driving next to me, exactly next to me, slowing down. So I thought, okay, at this point, I have to look at them. What if they want me to stop? So
Yeah.
I looked at the police officer, and I hope people are watching YouTube because he did a gesture like, what the fuck? Slow down with his hands. And my response was like, I put my thumb up and reassured him with my
Oh my
hands,
God.
and I kept
Yeah.
driving 100 because the speed limit was on that
Was it
road
100?
100.
Okay.
And oh my goodness, how I felt like I could have been stopped for speeding and be on TV like these, what I think are losers. I
I'm
can't wait to get home
surprised
to
they
tell my
didn't pull you
husband.
over.
No, they didn't, because first I was regularly checking my rear view mirror. So when he was behind me, I saw him immediately. So I wasn't driving recklessly. The highway was empty. There were few cars on the slow lane, but there were no cars
Listen
on
to
the
you
fast lane.
justifying yourself.
No, no, I'm not. I'm saying that I wasn't driving recklessly. I was only speeding. And
Only.
he really wanted to see who's in the car, because also the impression of who's driving,
Yeah.
right? But when he looked so angry at me and gave me this gesture of what the fuck, slow down.
You're a
Oh,
rebel. 127 in a 100-kilometer zone. Like, whoa. I think that is reckless. I don't care what
yeah.
you say.
I was even planning to speed faster because I was singing very loud, and I was just having so much good
Having a good
time.
time. In your Tesla zooming
But
around.
I knew I have to be careful because the police might be behind me.
Wow.
Yes, so that was
Can't believe you got away with
this
that.
was terrible.
Can't believe it. You get away with
So I
anything.
thought I'd share this with you.
Mm-mm.
Have you been stopped for speeding or anything like that?
No. I've never got a speeding ticket or any sort of ticket from the police. However, I do remember, actually, the closest it's got, when I was a teacher, I'd finished school and I had to rush to the airport because I had a flight to catch. It was a really tight deadline. I didn't have long. And I was coming out of the little town and there was a stop sign. And before you turned onto like the highway. And I didn't stop. I slowed down and then I, floored it, put my foot on the accelerator, like I'm in a hurry. And then there's a cop right round the corner. I'm like, fuck. And he's like, pull over, because he's standing on the road, clearly trying to catch people doing exactly what I was doing. Must be a bit of a hot spot for that. And I thought, shit, I got a flight to catch. Anyway, wind down my window. Luckily, I was wearing my teacher badge that said Miss Burrows, and he saw it. He went, "Oh, are you a teacher?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, did you stop at that sign?" I said, "Oh, not really." Anyway, he said, "Oh, try to set a better example for the kids." And he let me go. But I think if I wasn't wearing my teacher badge, he would have slapped me with a fine, for sure. I was terrified. It's like, fuck, no, I don't want a fine. They're really expensive here. Yeah.
Goodness, terrible. I was fined and I had to have and they called me for a talk with the officer
Oh my
who
God.
determines if I should go to court or not. But I wasn't speaking.
What were you
I
doing?
can't believe this happened to me. Oh, I can't believe I did it. All right, so I'm on the highway. And you know, when there is a lane with a red cross, it means you cannot go on that lane.
Okay.
But that's my highway. Like, it's 2 minutes from my home. I practically live on that highway. Who is there to tell me not to drive on the red crossed lane? Okay, I'm driving on the I didn't speed. I was keeping the speed as it was at that time required to drive 80 kilometer. So I'm driving 80, but I got close to where the reason why there's a red cross, and he's taking pictures of cars driving on that lane. And I couldn't have any clearer picture of myself in the car driving on that lane. So, like, they caught me even smiling on camera. This bad.
Oh my God.
I got a fine of 270 euros
Whew.
and then a call. So I called and I was like, oh, goodness, what am I gonna, like, this is horrible. I do not break the law. And that was the first
But
time I
yes,
do
you
something
do.
like this. I do. Obviously, I did. And I was telling this officer, you know, I really did something wrong. I admit it. This was very foolish, very stupid of me to do this. How can I do this? I'm a mom. I teach
You
my
suck
kids
up.
not to break the rules.
You suck up. Yeah.
Yeah. I was giving him this remorse speech that I have. And thanks goodness I did, because I could get also like a bad point on my driving license, which is really bad. And yeah, that was my learned lesson. Never ever undermine these signs on the road.
Except for the speed limit, you still undermine those.
Yes. No, I'm gonna do better.
I hope so.
I'm gonna do better.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah. So that was my my sharing of today about my
Have you
experience
ever
with the
been
police.
arrested, Rula?
Whew.
There's a
Yeah,
story.
I
Yeah.
was.
Can you share it? You got such a cheeky look on
Oh,
your face.
that's a
No.
horrible story. That's
Is it?
okay. We're traveling to Lebanon, my daughters and I. My
Yep.
kid have a new passport because she lost her old one. And we arrived at the customs in Lebanon. They're checking our passport. They checked her passport and they took it. They went. They came back. They said, there's an Interpol message about this
Oh
name.
my God.
I'm like, what do you mean? He said, this passport could have been stolen. Like, no, this is a new passport. And then it rang a bell. When we reported her passport was lost, they reported it to the Interpol. We didn't know that this is the process. And she had her ID. But what happened, the customs in Lebanon, they wanted kind of teach a lesson to the Dutch customs that they let us go. And they arrested us for 12 hours, my daughter and I.
12 hours. Oh my God. They
Yeah.
detained you. Oh my God.
They detained us. So we were in this office of the responsible, I don't know what his rank is. And so we entered the room. There's a cell full of illegal Syrian travelers. There were like 8 men in a cell for maybe 3 persons. And he
Wow.
said to me and to my daughter, the cell is full, so that's why you can stay here on this couch. The asshole. Threatening us. So we sat on this black leather couch in a very old room with white neon lights. It felt like a torture room. And the
Mm.
guy was playing good cop, bad cop with me, the same person doing good cop,
Yeah,
bad cop.
yeah.
And he was very sexist. I'm divorced, of course. I'm Lebanese. I have a tattoo, a big tattoo on my arm. My daughter looks European. There are a lot of prejudice. There is a lot of sexism in that part of the country at the
Mm-hmm.
airport. And then he wanted to know who I am, what I do, if my ex allowed me to take the kids. But I had forms signed by my ex that I could travel with the kids. We always do this,
Wow.
even when we were together, if I travel without him. And then I wasn't angry. I was very calm. My daughter was 16-year-old and she couldn't wait to leave. So she didn't really care about this entire process. She just wanted to leave. I didn't have much on her. And 12 hours sitting there. My other daughter was waiting outside at the airport. So some of the
Oh
officers gave her a cookie to eat because she was
my
sitting there.
God.
And then she called my sister, who were waiting for hours. What's going
Oh
on?
my
After
God.
like a couple of hours, they picked my daughter. And yeah, we stayed for 12 hours until in the morning, the judge came and gave an order to release
Oh
us.
my God.
It was a
Oh my
horrible
God.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Oh my
yeah.
God.
And I had to stay in the country 2 more weeks because they didn't want to let us go,
Oh
even
my
though she
God.
has her ID, even though we have the right papers, her passport, etc., just to make a point to the Dutch
Wow.
customs that they let us go with while there is an Interpol on this name.
Wow.
So we every day in the morning at 8 o'clock, we went to the police station,
Uh-huh.
waited there to see if they can do something for us until my sister had contact with the Dutch ambassador or consul, his wife, and then she helped us to put a word to
That's
release us so we can
wild.
leave the
That
country.
is wild. You're really not selling Lebanon for me right now. I don't want to go there because they're going to detain me and not let me leave the country.
Ironically, none of the travelers to Lebanon had this experience. I mean, if they
Yeah.
don't have drugs and illegal stuff or entering
Because I'm
illegally,
assuming your daughter
no
had a
one had
Lebanese
that.
passport. Does she? Does she?
No, no,
Oh,
no,
it's a Dutch
no.
passport.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
In Lebanon, as a woman, you're not allowed to give your nationality to your kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I did spend a month or two feeling suffocating from this horrible room and this cop who's playing good cop, bad cop. Luckily, after 6 hours, he swapped with another person because his shift
Oh, thank
finished,
goodness.
and
Yeah.
the other officer was really kind and he just didn't bother us with a lot of questions.
That's good.
Yeah.
But really,
Uh,
you guys were smuggling something into the country, weren't you? You just got this cover story. You were totally up to something. You bribed them,
no, we
I betcha.
weren't. No, no. We don't need anything. We're not smuggling anything. We're not. Yeah, well, what I take with me is mostly za'atar and kishik, and these
Mm.
are ingredients, powder ingredients to cook here. Oh,
Oh, illicit
that's my story,
cooking
Rosie.
ingredients. Wow. Wow. That's a
Yeah.
pretty cool story. I don't have one to match that. Let us know, everybody. Have you ever been arrested? Do you drive recklessly like Ruler?
Mm, yeah.
Do you
I was
suck up to the cops
innocent
to try and get out of things? You
both
were
times,
innocent.
thrice times.
Oh, really? I think 2 out of 3 you were guilty, actually, but
Two
that's
out of
okay.
three, that's true. 2 out of 3, that's true.
Such a rebel. All right, catch you in the next one, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. If you got a kick out of our conversation today, can you pretty please hit the follow button and share it with another opinionated person? This is the easiest way for you to support the show. It also gives Ruler and I the motivation to
Rosie,
keep
I have to
going.
stop you there. Stop telling people what to do. If they like to follow the show and share it, it's totally up to them. Guys, please, can you help us follow and share the show? Thank you
That's
so
what I
much. See you
just
next time.
said. Ah.